Praise the Most High God. This is another Sabbath day, and we come out here week in and week out just to bring out the truth out of the Bible. John 8, verse 32.
John 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
And that's what Christ came into this world to do. He came into this world to give testimony of the truth. This was his mission, to come in to this world and give the truth and to save his people. Micah 2, verse 1. Micah 2, verse 1.
Micah 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
So this is the prophet Micah. Micah said, destruction unto them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Read.
When the morning is light, they practice it.
He said, when the morning is light. You see, every single morning, you guys are practicing this wickedness and all this oppression. This is what Micah is getting into. Read.
Because it is in the power of their hand.
But right now, it's in the power of your hand. But see, God is the one that gave you this power because of our ancestors, because they wouldn't listen to Moses. This is the only reason you got this power. That's why in the book of Daniel, it says, he removeth kings and setteth up kings and giveth wisdom to those who know understanding. Read.
And they covet fields and take them by violence.
And this is how you got all of this, because this wasn't America at first. This was actually called Ashtaroth. When our brothers, the Gadites and the Reubenites and the Issacharites had this place. It wasn't actually America then. This was called Ashtaroth. Read.
And take them by violence.
So then this is what you did. You took all this by violence. You killed off 77 million of the Reubenites and the Gadites and the Issacharites to get all this land, and then you brought our people over here to build it up for free. Brought the Judites, because that's who we are. We're the Israelites from the tribe of Judah. Read.
And houses and take them away.
And then you took all of our houses and you took them away. Read.
So they oppress a man and his house.
And so you like to oppress a man and his house. Read.
Even a man and his heritage.
Even a man and his heritage. Not only did you oppress us, but then you took our land, our homeland, which is Israel, and then put those Amaleks and those Khazars over there and saying they're the people of God. Not only did you do all this, but you took it even farther. And God's been watching this since the beginning of creation. He knows, he's omnipotent. He sees all, he knows all. And there's nobody getting away for what they've done here in this body. Go to Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Ecclesiastes 7, verse 7.
Ecclesiastes 7, verse 7.
Go ahead.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
And this is why see, this was Solomon. Solomon said, oppression maketh a wise man mad. See, we're wise. This is why we're mad at all this oppression going on in this society. But it's not going unpunished. God has everything documented in the scriptures. Read on.
And a gift destroyeth the heart.
And a gift destroyeth the heart. But see, we're not taking gifts anymore. Nobody can pay us off and make us just, give us a pacifier. We're not going with that. We know who we are now. That's not going to happen no more. Read on.
Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof.
Because Christ said, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. See, he declares the end from the beginning, and his counsel is going to stand. Read.
And the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit.
Now go to Isaiah 46.
That right there.
Isaiah 46. We are being patient. Go ahead.
But right, the patient, I love that.
Declaring the end. I think it's
patient in spirit is better than the
verse
proud in spirit,
8.
right?
Isaiah
So
40.
we as individuals, don't you love the fact that we can come together? I mean, there's all this derision and division between society and who we are and what things that we believe in, based on our color, our age.
We didn't push that. That wasn't us that pushed the color thing. That's not something we did. That's something you guys did. You guys did this. This is who God calls us.
Okay.
And we can prove it in the Bible.
Just so you know,
we can prove this in the Bible. You want us to bring it out? Go to Genesis 49. Let's go. No, we're going to bring it out.
I've read the scripture.
Let's bring it out. Genesis 49.
Can we shake my hand?
We're going to keep reading. Genesis 49. No, we're not doing that. Go ahead, Judah.
Genesis 49, verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
He said, Judah, this is the same tribe that Christ himself came out of. He said, Judah, read.
Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies.
This is why we're underneath you guys right now. Because this goes back. This goes back to the Atlantic slave trade and the sub-Saharan slave trade. This is how we got over here. We're not Hamites. Look at this. Do we look like those people? Look at them. Look at these people here. This is what we know. We're not named after Leo Scipio Africanus or Amerigo Vespucci. We're not them. Look at the difference. And what did God say about us in Exodus? Read that. It's right there. It's right there on there for you.
Exodus 11 verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
He puts a difference between us. We're not Hamites. We're Semitic. But this is what you guys try to call us, African Americans. We understand that now. We're not no Hamites. We don't eat. We drink blood and put a big old rings in our mouth. We don't do any of that stuff. We know who we are. Go ahead, read on. Go back to where you were. We're not shaking no hands. And we'll tell you why. He said to never trust. We'll tell you why. Go ahead. There ain't nobody white. There ain't nobody white here. Hold on, I'll get it.
I have had a shitty life. I grew up in poverty. I've grown up in rape, drugs, and abuse, and alcohol. And I'm telling you, I'm standing before you as a human, not a color. And I just wanted to publicly say,
there it is. Read it.
Daniel,
she's white. Let's see what God
Daniel 12 verse 10. Many shall be purified and made white.
Many are going to be purified and made white. What purity? White means purity. Nobody that's going around killing everybody in the world and stealing their resources. You said this. We didn't call you anything. You came up. Everybody that's calling themselves white, God says they're not that because they're not pure. Read.
And tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly.
He said the wicked people, they're going to keep doing wickedly. Read.
And none of the wicked shall understand.
None of the wicked's going to understand this Bible because he didn't give this. This was what he gave to Jacob. He gave the law, statutes, and commandments to Jacob. Read.
But the wise shall understand.
And the wise is the ones that's going to understand this. The wise is going to understand this.
So who killed Jesus?
The Romans. The Romans. That was
the Jews. Let his blood be on us and on our children's children. So if we the tribe, then that means we killed Jesus.
We turned
That's what you
but that wasn't all of our people.
Oh, but
that was the Pharisees and the Sadducees.
Yeah.
Not all of them did it. Not all of them did that.
The people followed them. But anyway,
but that was only a small percentage. You know that anyway. That was a small percentage that turned them over to the Romans. That was the Pharisees and the Sadducees. That wasn't the all of them. That wasn't every one of the Jews that did that.
In heaven, is it black, white, Mexican? What is it in heaven?
What's your nationality, by the way?
And I'm African American and awesome.
That's what I thought. So what you would be, according to the Bible, is a Judite, an Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
I followed it, but
that's what you would be.
Right, but what I don't understand, in heaven, what are we? Can there be race in heaven?
In heaven, right now, but heaven is a condition. You know that, right? There is a spiritual world.
You're right.
There's a spiritual world. But right now, Esau's in their heaven right now because they're on top of the congregation.
Right.
They're on top of us right now. So they're in their heaven right now. But Christ is getting ready to change that.
Right.
He's getting ready to change they're getting ready to come out of their heaven state. That's why you're seeing all this stuff going on in the world. It's going to be a shift of power. They're not going to be on top of the congregation no more.
Right. And I hope not, but I also look at the poor black children that get killed every day in Chicago.
Well, that's the 2/3 here. Go to Zechariah. Everything's in the Bible. What you're saying, we're going to bring out the scriptures. I'm going to show you why they're doing this. Zechariah
11, verse 5.
2/3.
Got it.
The one 2/3. That one. This is why they're doing all this.
Zechariah 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. but the third shall be left therein. And I'll bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried.
So Christ already had prophesied that 2/3 of our people were going to be cut off and die. 2/3 of, because they're wicked. He already knows the ones. See, that's why Christ said, you did not choose me, but I have chosen you and appointed you that you should go out and bear fruit, and that your fruit remain. You should continue doing the laws, statutes, and commandments. But the ones that don't want to do it, he's getting rid of them too. He's coming after all his adversaries.
There you go.
Go ahead. Go back to where you were. Go back to where you were. Yeah, Isaiah 46.
Isaiah 46 verse 8.
Go ahead.
Remember this and shew yourselves men.
So this was the prophet Isaiah. He said to remember this and show thyself men.
Go ahead.
Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors.
And see, this is what they should have did. They should have brought this. It should have came back to their mind, because he gave us the law, statutes, and commandments through Moses on Mount Sinai and Horeb. This is why he's going after those wicked Israelites too, because they don't want to do the laws. Read.
Remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is none else.
He said to remember the former things of old, because I am God, and there is none else. Read.
I am God, and there is none like me.
Because he's the one and only. He's the one and only. That's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because there is no other God. Read.
Declaring the end from the beginning.
And he declares the end from the beginning, and his counsel is going to stand. So no matter how you guys feel and get into your emotions about this Bible, it's already been written. This is what the Most High God has done. Read.
And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done.
And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, because he's going to do all his pleasures. Read.
Saying, my counsel shall stand, and I'll do all my pleasure.
He's going to do everything he said in this Bible, no matter how you guys feel about it. Everything he said. This is why you're seeing the earthquakes. This is why you're seeing fires. This is why you see the tsunamis. All this is in the Bible. Everything he said that's going on in this world is in the Bible. And this is the Most High God that's doing all of this.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go to something.
Deuteronomy 32 verse 8. Verse 7, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations.
So this was Moses. He said to remember the days of old and consider the years of many generations. Go ahead.
Ask thy father, and he will shew thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee.
And see, because this is why we study, to show ourselves approved, workers that are not ashamed of the gospel, and we're going to rightly divide the word of truth. We're not, see, Christ came into this world to give testimony of the truth, and that's to be true to God. See, but a lot of people, they like lies in this society. They like deceit. This is what people like to go with, is lies and deceit. Go ahead.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
Because Israel is the lot of his inheritance, regardless of how you guys feel about it. Israel is the lot of his inheritance. That's the ones he chose from the foundation of the world. Read.
For the Lord's portion is his people.
The Lord's portion is his people. Read.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
And Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. So he doesn't care about your emotions. And we're not even worried about that. He said in Isaiah 58, cry aloud and spare not. Lift up our voices like a trumpet and show our people our transgressions. This is what God said for us to do anyway. Go ahead.
Acts 17 verse 26, and hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and hath determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation.
Because see, it doesn't matter what people think. God has everybody's bounds that they're not going to pass. You're going to have this, right now you've had this dispensation of time to rule, and now this time it's almost up. This is why the world is going the way it is. If people don't understand, we're going to make you understand, because it's all in the scriptures. Everything is written, but you have to have the sons of the prophets to break this down, because the pastors at those churches, they don't know what's in the Bible, and plus they're under that 501c3. They can't bring out the Bible because they want to keep the money going. Read.
Ecclesiasticus 12 verse 10, Never trust thine enemy.
And that's why we don't trust our enemies, and we know who they are. We're not trusting the enemies anymore.
Read.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
And this, yeah, isn't all this wickedness what they did to us? This was all wickedness. See, God has everything documented in the scriptures.
Read.
Though he humble himself and go crouching.
Like that girl came and did. She was trying to humble herself, and she was coming up with and dissembleth at the lips. Go ahead.
Yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away.
Because they're always plotting, and they're always thinking of unrighteous decrees to do towards Jacob, because that's who we are. We're not no African Americans. We're Israelites from the tribe of Judah. That's who we are. And I know you guys can see the difference anyway. Do we look like those Hamites? Look at us. Those are Africans. That's who we are, huh? Look at them. See, he puts a difference between us.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
ask what she came over here for?
She just wanted to talk. She was trying to reason with us, but we're just out here to preach. That's all we come out for, is to preach the word.
Yeah.
We're not out here to start no fights or
Yeah, that's good.
confrontation. We just come out to preach the truth, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Can you? I've only listened to like a short little bit of it, but can you tell me like what your like overall like message is? I guess like
We're just out here to tell people the truth of the gospel and who the real people of God are,
Yeah.
which is our people. We're the ones that we were the ones
yeah. No.
that God was talking about in Deuteronomy, that Moses was talking about, saying that if you guys don't listen to the law, statutes, and commandments, you're going into slavery.
Yeah.
That was our people.
Yep.
That was our people.
Yeah.
The Native Americans, what you guys call, which is the Gadites and the Reubenites, and the Issacharites, the Mexicans, all those people that everybody hates. We're the ones
Yep.
that all went into slavery. We're those people.
Right. Yep.
So we're just out here to let everybody know about that.
Yeah. No, thank you.
And to help-
I'm mixed myself. My father is black, so I just.
So then, if your father is
Yeah.
black, this is who you are.
Yep.
You're a Judite. You're an Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
Yeah.
Your dad is that.
Yeah. So I just wanted.
It goes by the dad. Go to Numbers.
Yeah.
'Cause we'll bring it out too.
Yeah.
Because it goes by the pedigree of the father.
Yeah.
Go ahead, read that.
Numbers 1 verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
But I know in this society they say, oh, the mother. It's not the mother just carries the seed. It's the man that has the seed. The mother just carries the child. But it goes by the pedigree of the father, is what God said. So whatever your father is, that's who you are. Whatever your father is. So they always say mixed and all this. There's nobody mixed. Whatever the dad is, that's who the person is, what God said. There's no one mixed here. Go ahead.
Job 8 verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
And
That's what we did. We did the search of our fathers. Now we understand. Okay, we're those people. We understand. We knew we were being lied to at the churches. We knew that. We were going to church our whole life, and then they never told us this. We had to read the Bible for ourselves to find all this out.
Right.
It's just been a big diabolical scheme to keep us asleep and to keep us on the bottom. We understand now why they did this. It was for power. It was all for power.
Right.
Go ahead.
1 Chronicles 9 verse 1. So all Israel were reckoned by genealogies, and behold, they were written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah, who were carried away to Babylon for their transgression.
And this is Mystery Babylon. Go to Revelations to bring that out. This is Mystery Babylon. This is what God calls this place. And spiritually Sodom and Egypt. And it's in the Bible. Read it.
Revelation 17 verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Hamashiach.
Because they're killing all of our people around here. They're always hearing about our people getting shot down. We're the saints. That's who the saints are. That's why he said the blood of the saints. And in Daniel it says the saints of the Most High are going to take the kingdom. We're going to get it because Christ already prophesied about it. We're going to get the kingdom. It's coming.
Go ahead.
And when I saw her, I wondered with